Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Phantom.Strategies. So in this video I want to do a quick morning update for BTC price action against USD. Alright, so we have been following BTC for a while now, looking at the 8-hour chart. So let's quickly walk through this price action. We hit that resistance mark around that 11,600 a few days ago. We called out that that's going to be a major resistance. That whole zone from 11,000 to 12,000 is a resistance zone. All right. What I mean by that is like there's a lot of like traffic or a lot of price action that took place in that zone. Before, when we were coming down, that was acting as a support, and now it will be acting as a resistance when we are trying to go up. Okay, so let me zoom in a little bit. Right now we are sitting right at 10,175, trying to cross that previous support, which is a resistance, which is right at 10,080. Okay, and we are trying to get over that. The trend line that is for the short term, let me zoom it a little bit further more. Okay, so if you can see this trend line, and I'm going to, for a time being, I'm going to hide this. Hide. Okay, alright, so this might be a little bit better. Okay. Okay, so if you see this right now, we are right up against the trend line that is coming from that high that we drew. Okay, that trend line is going to act as a resistance for a time being, and I'm going to mark this as pink. Any major resistant trend line will be red. Any minor resistance trend line will be pink. Alright, so I just want to color coordinate this a little bit so it's easy to read, and I'm going to the previous trend that we had, I'm going to remove that, so make it a little bit more cleaner, so it's easy to read. Alright, so let's recap on this. The price action took support from it was coming up against the 50-day moving average on 8-hour chart. I said it in the previous video that we might see some support from that. It quite did not touch that. It came close to it but did not touch it. A lot of time it does that. A lot of time, because there are so many exchanges and so many different you have Coinbase, you have Binance, Bittrex, Bitfinex. So that price action you have the data coming from multiple sources, and like from that sources, the investors and traders are trying to make those bets, right? So that it might not come exactly on the dot, but it usually comes pretty close by, because there are multiple different exchanges and multiple currencies getting traded with, like trading in pound, USD, and so on and so forth. All right, so keep those things in mind. Be very mindful of those things, that it might not exactly hit those support level. It might go past that little bit and then bounce back, or it might just come right on it and then bounce back. All right, so right now we are trying to bounce up against it. Right, the pink resistance line, we need to make sure that we break that resistance line to go up. All right, once we break it, we have another resistance, which is that 9-day moving average. That will also act as a resistance. So I see there is going to be some resistance going to be around 10,350 mark. All right, 10,350. all right, so keep that number in mind. There will be some resistance in that. I'm going to draw here and we'll make it red. Okay, so now it's clear that we are up against the resistance of the trend line and the previous high. So this resistance we need to break this resistance. All right, the volume is coming in, but we have to make sure that if we cannot break this resistance, then we're gonna see you know, probably like 9,500 mark. Okay, so it's very critical that we break this resistance. Let's look at the daily real quick. Daily, we are trying to get that inverse candle right now. See if we can get out of it. If that happened, that's a very bullish sign, and we can definitely make that run toward that 11,000 and perhaps break that resistance zone that we have been calling out for a few days now. All right, so stay tuned. Keep an eye on the price action. Let's look at the smaller time frame. Okay, so yeah, we're trying to make that candlestick right above that. Let's see if we can break it, but that's resistance still we have it, and we need to get past that. Let's look at Litecoin while we are at it. Okay, so Litecoin, we talked about potentially making the trade on Litecoin. It's coming at that resistance point that we previously called out, which is around 208. There will be a moving average resistance as well. Let's look at the 8-hour. I like looking at the bigger time frames. So 8-hour, you see, is right at that 9-day moving average resistance, and the previous support, which is now resistance. So let's see if we can go past it, but there is a significant resistance right now on Litecoin. So I won't be surprised if we see a minor pullback here, and then perhaps try to make a room up, or unless if there are enough buyers to take it all the way up to 2018 mark. Okay, so that's being said, that's let's look at the S&P 500. S&P 500, we need to get out of this, trying to make this, you know, trying to get out of this consolidation zone. I want to make a bigger video. Sorry, the daily. Okay, all right. So daily, it's very important in S&P 500 that we get out of this consolidation zone right now, because if we break further down, then it will have effect on cryptocurrency as well. So we want to make sure that this consolidation is breaking on toward upward side, not on the downward side. So that's, we want to keep an eye on it, and just want to watch it just to make sure that it's going in north direction and it's in our favor. Okay, BTC against USD. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. You know, keep an eye on it. As I said, this is gonna be interesting, because it's at that key resistance level right now. Okay. Alright, so that's pretty much it. I will make another video later today, cover some altcoins and give you some insight on what I'm seeing on those altcoins. Alright, alright, so if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I post new content every day. Hit those notification icons so you can get this updates every day. As I said before, we are in a very dynamic market, and it's constantly changing, so we want to make sure that we are keeping up with this market, and there's plenty of money to be made here. We just have to make sure we are getting it at the right time. All right, and we are managing our risk properly, so we're not getting burned out. Our portfolio is staying positive. So those are some very common things that we need to be very mindful of. It seems pretty common, but we need to practice those things in order for them to become our second nature. Okay, if you learned something today, if you think this video was helpful, please give me a thumbs up. That really means a lot. Keeps me motivated and doing these videos for you every day. All right, thank you.